Imagine a river not of water, but of stars, flowing high above Egypt, dictating the fate of life below. Long before satellites and science, the ancient Egyptians looked to the heavens for answers, and in the midnight sky, they saw a divine river, the celestial Nile, mirroring the Nile on Earth. But this wasn't just stargazing. To them, it explained the rhythm of life, death, and rebirth. Each year, as summer's heat scorched the land, a miracle occurred. The Nile would rise and overflow its banks, blessing Egypt with rich black silt. This flooding was so predictable, so vital, that it became sacred. The Egyptians didn't just thank the river, they deified it. But they also looked upward, because above them flowed a second Nile, one made of stars. The Milky Way, that dazzling band of stars across the night sky, was seen by the Egyptians as a heavenly twin of their earthly river. It was known as Itaru Pet, the heavenly Nile. Just as the real Nile brought water and life, this cosmic river carried divine energy, flowing through the night and signaling the approach of the flood. At the heart of this myth was the goddess Nut, the sky herself, arching protectively over the earth. Her body, speckled with stars, was believed to carry the celestial Nile within her, and when the time came, she would open the floodgates of the heavens. But how did the ancient Egyptians know when the Nile would flood? They watched the sky for a single sparkling sign, Sopdet, the star we now call Sirius. When Sopdet first appeared in the dawn sky after being invisible for 70 days, it was a divine alarm bell. The heliacal rising of Sirius marked the moment when the celestial Nile spilled into the earthly one. It was no coincidence. The star rose just as the Nile began to flood. To the Egyptians, this was proof. Heaven and earth were connected, and the gods had not forgotten them. The myth of the celestial Nile wasn't just a story. It was a sacred worldview. It showed that the physical and the spiritual were reflections of each other. Life came from above as well as below. The gods were not distant. They were woven into the very sky and stars that watched over Egypt each night. But the celestial Nile was not only about water and life, it was also the pathway for the souls of the dead. Many believed that when a person died, their soul traveled up the celestial Nile, guided by the stars and the gods. It was along this heavenly river that they would meet Osiris, Lord of the afterlife, and be judged. Just as the earthly Nile brought fertility to the land, the celestial Nile brought hope for eternal life. It was both a beginning and an end, a sacred bridge between mortality and the divine. So the next time you look up